That's Gucci. Yo, what's going on, you guys? It's your boy 3 Stacks in this thing, baby, representing Team Kings of Games. Today I'm coming at you guys with a build-a-board workshop for one of my favorite archetypes. Like, Galaxy Eyes is just so disgusting. This deck is so good, you guys. I'm like, Union Carrier is like, dude. This card in this deck just does so much. It actually is an active starter for your plays. You know, some people are using Union Carrier to go for like locks. In decks like ABCs and Galaxy Eyes, because they have actual like equip cards that have effects like Orbital and, you know, the A's, B's, and C's being unions themselves. It's just so much better in decks like that where you're actually able to equip your equip monsters. Even if you're playing, like, for example, you know, Noble Knights, for example, and you just want to equip something to a target. Like, Union Carrier is better in those decks because it can do everything generically applicable that it does to other decks and more. So this card is just really insane in this deck. I'm very happy that it came out. It opens a completely different dimension. I really hope that nothing happens to this card in the future because it really does make this deck a lot more consistent. Galaxy Eyes are just already a madly consistent deck. I will be tailoring a handcrafted combo with this particular hand because this is a weaker hand, right? And I am showcasing the power of Afterglow because Afterglow is just disgusting in this deck, and the power of Union Carrier. So Union Carrier just takes this deck to a whole nother level. Buster Whelp is just an obvious, you know, kind of thing. Like, everybody knows you could just equip Buster Whelp, bam, lock someone out their extra deck. But in addition to locking your opponent out, you can use Union Carrier as a starter. So I'm going to show you guys basically how you can turn a decent hand into an insane hand that's actually going to make an incredibly broken and powerful field. So, babe. That's my baby. Alright, so first thing that we're going to do with this hand, and by the way, if you just look at this hand, right, just pen and paper approach, right, just looking at it, most people be like, okay, I can see I could discard this, summon Soldier, Expedition. And then this would be just kind of like, okay, extender. That's how the common just what people would think, like, okay, no, we're about to take it to a whole nother level. We're going to show you why I played 3 Galaxy Braves in my deck. Why I played 3 of this card. Okay, this card is the alternative on steroids. He changes his level to whatever you need him to be. He actually can just be dropped as a 4K beater mid to late game. The card's an extender. He's a starter. He can make Isolde. He can make Rank Force. He can make Dweller. This card's just way too good. Okay, so we're going to show you guys, like, the only really good cards in this hand specifically are these. This is okay if your hand is actually good, but if your hand is, like, not insane, this card is, like, not really going to get you that far. It can push to make a kind of bad hand better, but really, this hand isn't the most optimal. You don't have, like, Wizard, you don't have, you know, Orbital, you don't have, like, Vanisher, but you're going to get to, like, almost all of that. Anyways, so we're going to start by activating Sanctuary. We're going to make the 2 tokens, right? 2 Photon tokens that are both light attribute and they are also thunder type, which is kind of weird that they're thunder, but they're the same type, same attribute, and they have 2,000 attack, so they're big tokens. So you're going to link those off into Union Carrier. Going to activate his effect, target a face-up monster, right? You're going to target itself, and you're going to equip Orbital from your deck. So Sanctuary is not only a 1-card Union Carrier, but also it's literally just a searcher now. It makes 2 tokens, but this is the equivalent of opening Orbital itself. It's just another searcher. It's an extender. It's a starter. Obviously, we usually showed that we started off this already turns this hand just to an insane hand. And then mid to late game, it's a 1-card Soul Flare that brings back Knight, which makes another rank 8. So it's just insane. Sanctuary is like so good. I hope that this, you know, is only going to be really being seen, like, played in this deck. Because this deck makes it look so good. Honestly, it does. But the restriction, I feel, just makes this card even more fair. You can only make lights, so it scares people from even testing this in other archetypes. But it's good in certain other decks, too. I will admit that. So equip Orbital. Use Orbital's effect. So you can send this card, you know, if... Basically, send this equip spell to the grave, add a Photon or Galaxy monster from your deck to your hand. You're not going to go straight for Galaxy Eyes. You're actually going to take a shortcut to Galaxy Eyes. Or you're going to take a little detour before you get to Galaxy Eyes. You're going to grab Vanisher. The reason being is because, look at the hand. Brave did not have a Photon monster in hand, so he was a dead card. You actually couldn't use him because you didn't have a Photon reveal. So you're going to search for the Vanisher, and then you're going to reveal the Vanisher to summon the Brave. Right? And now the Brave is out. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and special out the Vanisher. And honestly, I'm going to do this first. Let's do this. I'm just going to go ahead and do the, yeah, I'm going to have to do that play. But there was one thing I was going to do next. I'm going to skip a step and do it in a reverse chronological order. So you're going to reveal Brave, special him, special Vanisher, use his effect, and you're going to search out Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon from your deck to your hand. Now, there's like 3 different things you can make just off these 2 alone. You can make a Blast, you can make a Soul Flare, and you can make a Bushinki Ahashima just off these two cards, because they're both lights, they're both level 4s, and obviously one of them has 2,000 or more attack, so you can make this, or this off of just these two cards. So many options in this deck. You can suffer from decision anxiety at certain times, but what I'm going to go ahead and do is just kind of keep these there for a second. I'm going to do the Galaxy Soldier play, discard the Galaxy Eyes, special summon the Soldier, and make sure that we don't summon anything to Union Carrier Zone yet. Use Soldier's effect to search for Galaxy Knight. And then what we're going to do next is normal the Knight and reborn the Galaxy Eyes, right? So what we're going to do here is we're just going to go ahead and overlay these two preemptively, pretty early. But we're going to go ahead and summon out the... where's my boy at? Okay, where are we at? Where's he at? My bad. Okay, we're going to keep it right here. We're going to overlay these two real quick. My bad. I'm forgetting about my zones and all that. I got to leave space. So we're going to preemptively... Honestly, I just like going for Blast. He's just incredible. Honestly, he really is. You can go for Blast, or if you want to, you can just go for Soul Flare. It's totally up to you, but I personally like Blast in that he just... You know, he protects your board, and also your negates are a little bit harder to just get over now. Side summon the Blast. Anyways, continuing. Now we're going to go ahead and special summon the Afterglow. I'm forgetting I don't have enough zones, you know, the zones are full. Especially the Afterglow. What I'm going to go ahead and do here is overlay him in the Knight into a Felgrand. I'm going to activate the Felgrand, detaching this Afterglow. Target, you know, anything. And then we're going to go ahead and activate the Afterglow's effect. And grab another Galaxy Eyes from our hand or deck and special summon it. So we're just going to grab this bad boy and then special summon him. And then we're going to go ahead and overlay these two level 8s. The Galaxy Eyes, both of them. We're going to overlay these into a Photon Lord. And then finally we're going to activate the Expedition, you know, because we have Soldier. And we're going to bring out another copy of Soldier. And then we're going to overlay those, you know, for Nova and an Infinity. So I just went through it pretty quickly. Honestly, there were some in-between plays that I could have explained further, but I feel like some of these plays are pretty common sense. Keep in mind, like I said, this could have been anything, but really, if you look at it, you just pumped out 4 rank 4s in one turn. I mean, not 4 rank 4s, you pumped out 4 XYZ boss monsters in one turn. All of these are standalone cards and have their own ways of protecting your board. Now, this, you know, it kind of sucks that he doesn't have a high enough attack stats to protect himself, but I will say Felgrand, you know, and Lord and Infinity can kind of help to protect him from other effects that would, you know, destroy him. They can obviously just run him over by battle, but his defense is 25, and it's not really easy to deal with this board. Another thing is if you're playing Shaddolls, for example, you might want to change that Lord to a Titanic, so you have 2 ways to negate a fusion spell and a Felgrand to just kind of just protect even further, just in case, you know, there was like, you know, anything that would hurt one of your other monsters. You could honestly use Felgrand to just make it unaffected, negating its effects, of course, or you can just use Felgrand reactively and negate one of theirs. So you actually do end on legitimately, you know, 3 interruptions. Now, if you want to end on 4 interruptions, like I was saying, this can just, instead of being protection, because I just like this. This is protection and a follow-up, because once you negate with the Lord, you can use this to bring it back, the Photon. Then you just have a lot more aggression and pressure. If you don't want it to be like that, like I said, these two can just be linked off into the Soul Flare. And, you know, Soul Flare would actually grab back the Orbital from your grave, right? And then you'd have the Orbital as a follow-up, and then on your opponent's turn, you'd use the Lord to search out your 3rd copy of Galaxy Eyes. And at that point, then you have 4 interruptions instead of 3 plus protection. So you've got essentially a Trident for this format. Everybody special summons. You've got 3 negates, 2 being monsters. Honestly, it can be a monster negate, a spell negate, and an omni negate, but I really need the Lord to give me follow-ups and also to make the Soul Flare live in the first place. You want to just, you know, use the Lord to search this. So this is another way you can end the board, or if you wanted to just skip steps, you can just go straight to the Bushinki link and use its effect to bring something from hand and grave with the same level, which isn't hard in this deck. But yeah, that's just like, that's a crazy board, and that wasn't necessarily the craziest hand. Let's go ahead and grab another one, because this deck is just really fun. It's really explosive. It's very, very consistent. So again, we're going to grab Sanctuary. So we'll grab Expedition. We'll grab Sanctuary. I'll show you guys a little bit weirder hand. This is a a kind of a cool combo I crafted myself actually, playing around with Photon Lizard. So it can be Dragon Shrine because Lizard's a dragon, and then you have Vanisher. So like you can have a hand like this, and this will still make a pretty insane board as well. So what we're gonna go ahead and do here is we're gonna start off by special summoning Photon Thrasher because you control no monsters, and then you're gonna go ahead and special summon the Vanisher and use his effect. Search for Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon from your deck. You saw that last combo, we burned through all 3 Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragons, and people wonder why I stopped playing Desires, because it just became, this card just became more and more integral, where you just needed 2, 2, 3. You never really could just play with 1, so if Desires banish 2, it just kills a lot of plays for the future, and also for the same turn. You know, the duration of the turn, you just like, you need it for Afterglow, you need it for, you know, Soul Flare, you need it for, you know, Night, you need it for Vanisher. Like, it's literally in the card text of so many different, like, cards in this deck. It's crazy. So, we got that. Already here, you can make Isolde and summon out the Noble Knight that's coming out, the Ignoble Knight, the level 1. So, you could dump a Galaxy, you could dump, for example, a Galaxy 0, special that level 1 Noble Knight, use this effect, you know, grab that equip spell back from your grave to your hand, activate it, reborn the Thrasher, and then you can link off and you can make the Union Carrier. So then this becomes a combo that makes Union Carrier. You'll have Isolde, you'll have Union Carrier equip, Orbital, pop off, and then you just start comboing off. Just off of Sanctuary, just off Vanisher and Thrasher alone is a 2-card combo also. So when we get the new Noble Knight, Isolde is going to be another link that goes into this deck's extra deck, because this deck can just pop off with so many different hands. You don't really need, like, it doesn't necessarily require specific hands. Like, there's a variety. I just kind of, like, this is a build-a-board workshop, so I want to show you guys, like, the best of the best. So the next thing that we're going to go ahead and do, oh yeah, and this Dragon Shrine actually should just be one of the 3 lizards. It's just easier to do, so you don't have to burn a Soul Flare activation. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to overlay these 2 level 4s. So again, Dragon Shrine should just be the lizard because it's easier, so that way you can do the blast instead of Soul Flare. Because Soul Flare, I only have 2 in my extra deck, and that would be like burning 1 just to start off this combo. So we're gonna overlay those, you know, Master Rule 5, like I said. So bam, zones don't matter for XYZs anymore. So we're gonna go ahead and summon Blast and activate its effect to special summon the Photon Lizard from the hand. And then we're gonna go ahead and tribute the Photon Lizard. Using its effect, we're going to search out Photon Orbital. This is why Lizard's just insane. I really love Lizard. Like, you guys, dude, people are sleeping on this card. The people that aren't sleeping on this card, watch this channel. I promise you. They see. I showed you guys a little combo tutorial just off Lizard. Just what he does. Like, this deck has too many good searchers, too many good cards to just not try them. At least all of them at least once. And so the cool thing is, that the Sanctuary can now be the Soul Flare, so you can use the Soul Flare for something else, or you can just make the Bushinki link. So this can be an extender now instead of a starter. So now what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to equip Orbital to the Starliege Photon Blast, because it's a Photon monster also, and then just sack off the Orbital and grab the Galaxy Soldier. Then we're going to, you know, do Galaxy Soldier, discarding Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, which is like one of the best cards to discard off of Galaxy Soldier. Using his effect, we're going to go ahead and grab out the Galaxy Wizard. I'm sorry, not the Galaxy Wizard, the Galaxy Knight. And you're obviously going to normal the Galaxy Knight, bring back the Galaxy Eyes. Just go ahead and overlay those into the Photon Lord, right? We can then go ahead and activate Expedition. Using Expedition, we're going to bring out another copy of Galaxy Soldier. We'll overlay these 2. We'll summon Nova, and then we'll overlay Infinity. And then finally, we'll go ahead and activate the Photon Sanctuary. We summoned only lights, so you can still activate this card. Make 2 tokens, and you can high key just go for Union Carrier and directly equip the Buster Whelp if you want to. You can summon Union Carrier, and you know, you can equip the Buster Whelp to the Blast because he is a dragon, and you can lock your opponent out the extra deck. Or you can summon the Soul Flare and use the Soul Flare to target this Orbital Engrave, add it, and then equip it to the Blast so that now his attack is higher than 2,000, so your entire board can't be targeted or destroyed by card effects, and he can't be destroyed by battle either because orbital. So he basically can't be destroyed by battle or card effects and can't be targeted. So it's going to be a problem getting over him. You've got the negations, you've got the follow-up. You can search out the Galaxy Eyes to have, you know, a 3 interruption board. Or if you don't want to do that, like I said, you can literally just use Sanctuary to be a 1-card Union Carrier and equip the Buster Whelp from your deck to the Star Liege. And then, you know, because he's a dragon, so it's either match attributes or typed. And fortunate enough, he's still a dragon, so you can have the 2 negations, the protection, and also the extra deck lock. So that's a really nice board too. And that's going to conclude this Build-A-Board workshop, you guys. Just really want to show you guys some cool combos. That's not all the combos you can do with Union Carrier. Obviously, I didn't even show you guys what you can do with the Bushinki. But naturally, this is it's not really hard to figure out what this card does. It just specials a monster from your hand and from your grave whose levels match, obviously. And if you summon, you know, to its zone, then you'll get its additional ability where if you put a Lord or an Infinity to its zone, whichever one you want to put to its zone, for example, Lord, when you negate a monster effect with Lord, you can then use this to be even more reactive, pop a back row. When you have Felgrand and you have a, you know, an Afterglow, you can chain block and do some crazy stuff where you have Felgrand detached, you know, target something, bam. And then you have separate chains of the Bushinki Link and the Afterglow, so you can make that Chain Link 1, this Chain Link 2, so that that can't be Ash Blossom, then you just pop off even further, especially if that was activated during the battle phase, then it's just, you know, if you have numbers, it just gets out of control. So many different variables for the combos, but this deck is just so good. It's so nice. It's totally worth the investment, regardless of, you know, if there's no replacements either. So if you're going to ask, like, what's a good replacement for Orbital? There is no replacement for Orbital. Nothing does what Orbital does. Like, just some of those cards, if you can't afford to invest, I understand, but that's why when I can't afford to buy stuff, I trade. You know, there is a such thing as trading. You don't always have to buy cards. So, like, when people say, oh, it's too expensive, like, that's fine, because if you just know somebody at your locals or somebody that's around you that has a card, you can still just trade them. That's what I do, you know, because I'm not made out of money. So that's how I get most of the time, that's how I get my expensive cards is I'm just trading people. I don't mind even trading a whole deck core to get the cards that I need. If you guys really want to build this deck, it's not going to be hard for you. It's only going to get better when the Ignoble Knight monster comes out. And, you know, it's going to be crazy because then you're going to have, like, just so many things that this deck can do. It's crazy, honestly. Yeah, that's the end of the video, you guys. Thank you so much for watching it. God bless you. Make good choices. Don't hurt your brain cells. Stay tuned for future content. I'm going to say a quick prayer. If you don't want to be around for the prayer, just stop watching the video. You don't have to drop a hate comment. I just told you right now that you don't have to stick around for the prayer. So, our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Jesus. Thy kingdom come, and thy will be done on earth just as it is in heaven. Please give us this day our daily bread, Lord, and please forgive us of our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, Father, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the glory, and the power forever. In the mighty name of Jesus, I pray. Thank you, Yahweh. Amen. All right, and that's the end of the video, you guys. Peace out.